gods and mortals meet. Legends rise from ancient stone. Heroes' fates are yet unknown. Travial, where the echoes call. In the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name. From the ruins of the past to the battles that will last. Every choice a path to tread. In this world where fate is led. Travial, where the echoes call. In the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name. Through the trials, through the pain, destinies in blood are stained. Magic weaves the threads of time. In Travial, where legends glide. Travial, where the echoes call. In the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name. So gather close, the tale begins in Travial, where the dark wind sings. Join the fight, take up the call, for in this world, heroes rise or they fall. Where the echoes call, in the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name.
Frying pan!
All right. Welcome everyone to our Travial Planar War game. I am Ruby Mad Hatter. I am going to go clockwise, starting from the top right, to have everybody once again introduce themselves, in case anybody forgot who they are. Starting with Inquisition.
I am the great Jose, Inquisitor of Anuketna. I quite delight in giving my fellow believer of the faith a bit of a headache at times, and have been known to get into mischief and other forms of shenanigans. Not because they're required, but just because let's see what happens.
All right. Joining us for the first time in the recordings, due to health and work reasons, we have my wife, Anne. You can introduce yourself, hon.
Hello. I have Draha, cleric for a god that believes in both intelligence and strength. So while she can philosophize about religion, she's also more than happy to kick your ass when necessary. And typically she ends up kicking the other Inquisitor's ass for being too pushy.
I don't
And
know
you-
what you mean.
And who is this deity you serve?
Their brain.
Craft-
Cross fire hand.
Yeah, Cross Firehand. All right.
Cross the focused, whatever. It changes depending on where you are.
Yep. Ange.
I'm Rai, and I a Kitsune fire.
All
A
right.
fighter with pole arms.
Yes.
Yep, the big pointy stick.
And sometimes I like cute.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, Guy, you're up.
What's going on? I am Hedon. I am a roguish fighter. I follow my path and my path only. I have recently found the love of my life. And my end goal is to decimate, destroy, and take over a particular god because he's a butthole.
Fair enough. Fedorian, you're next.
Hello! Normally, I'm the 100% stabby drow, but today I will be playing Belle, the human, most of the time, cleric of Amuketna, and she is also a spiritualist, accompanied by the Phantom of Hate that she calls Miss Daye.
And last but not least in the players, Melody.
My name is Vina, but you can call me V. I'm a cat folk and I'm a bard, which means I like to play music and recite poetry, but I have other skills, but mostly I just kind of do spells and keep people safe and do things like that. And I'm married to Jose, so keep your hands off him. He's mine.
And I, of course, am Ruby Mad Hatter. I'm the DM. I'm also playing a character with this party called Sylvana Frostfire. She's an elven alchemist who is not exactly the best well-spoken person out there, but she is intelligent.
Yeah, DM PC. Only because otherwise DM never gets to PC.
Yeah, ever.
I try.
I know.
I'm teasing the DM.
Yep. All right. So where we left off, you guys camped on the side of the road between Woolhope and Ferdockety. So you're heading towards the capital.
Mm-hmm.
And Rye and Sylvana had a conversation where they both admitted their feelings towards to each other about Belle, that they both had feelings for her, and they came to an agreement that whichever one Belle decided to go with, they would not take it personally. I believe that was the agreement, Rye?
Yep.
Okay. So there was that. And then they both realized they are not good at communicating their feelings. And they realized the only way they could communicate this effectively to Belle is in the written form. Because Belle won't
Take her nose out of books.
Yeah, she won't catch the verbal innuendo there, so it's going to have to be written. So Rye went to Jose for assistance, and Sylvana went to Belle for assistance in writing their love letters. Now, mind you, where we're picking up in game is several days down the road. All right? Because writing these letters are going to take a few days. So I think everybody understands that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for reasons we are keeping track of time because, well, it's been established that Belle is lycanthropic, and she, unlike Hedon, who is growing closer to mastering his transformation, she cannot at all because she has been a victim of a very bad strain of lycanthropy.
Now, is there such a thing as a good strain of lycanthropy?
Points to Hedon. He's capable of controlling his transformation and also isn't attacking things while he is transformed.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's very happy about it all.
Oh, I'm not happy about it whatsoever.
Right. So.
But I will master this so that I can demolish the one that did this.
Fair enough. So after about 3 days of Rye sitting down with Jose and having conversations, and Sylvana sitting down with V and having conversations, about what to write, which I'm sure Jose and V are both talking with each other about the hilarity of this situation.
V thinks that it's very, very sweet and romantic, and it reminds her of when she and Jose got together.
And Jose is just being delightfully happy that his loving wife is remembering such fond times that he often thinks of himself. When an idea strikes him, my dear, how's your skills with the harp?
I keep up in practice.
Then how about we ensure that loving true lovebirds bud with love as we serenade them from afar?
If I hear Jose singing, there's immediately going to be a silent spell.
I'm getting like flashbacks now of Little Mermaid, like the whole kiss the girl scene, where V would be Sebastian the crab, who has been musically trained and everything and able to sing nicely, and Jose is the fucking seagull just screaming.
I love it.
Who knows? Who knows? They may surprise us, and it would be an incredible irony considering that Jose has once recommended that a certain somebody get singing lessons.
Yeah.
That's right.
So the third night, Sylvana will like approach Belle, and I'm guessing Rye will be doing the same.
Yep.
And they'll both look at each other and then look at Belle and go, Belle, can we have your attention for a moment?
And she peeks over, just a random tome. Looks like actually maybe a collection of maps.
All right.
So one of those oversized folios.
The way Sylvana's going to hand out the letter, and this is what I kind of pictured in my head, is kind of like those Japanese scroll girls in anime where like they both hands straight out with the letter in hand.
Is she shaking nervously to boot?
Yes.
Oh my god.
She is not used to being emotional, so this is new territory for her.
And
so
Belle will be slightly confused, and she'll say, merci?
Yeah. And how does Rye hand over the letter?
Just like a normal person. Just,
Like,
give
here.
it to them.
Like, you just kind of like hold out one arm and you're just holding out the letter, go, this is for you.
Pretty much.
All right.
At which case,
I'm sitting across from the campfire at this moment, just drinking a cup of like willow tea, going, "Oh lordy, what are we about to get into?"
Sylvana will turn to Ryan and go, perhaps we should leave her to read what was written, and then we'll come back later. Yes?
Yes.
Agreed. And she's going to turn and look at, like, kind of walk off with Ryan and go, perhaps we should have a drink.
I agree.
And it's like, having a new thing to glare at is like you guys feel Miss Dai staring daggers into the back of your heads.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, I'm gonna quickly roll 3 craft alchemy checks real fast. For the, 2 of them. I need 2 more. Okay, 1.
2 more what?
2. Alright, I got 1 success. So I have 2 total successes and 1 failure, but not by more than 5. So Sylvana has 2 successes out of 3 that she needs to get you the proper dosage.
Okay.
So there is that. If anybody wants to roll heal, they could also do that if they realize what Sylvana is doing and trying to work out the proper belladonna dosage for Belle.
Nope.
Oh, you are way off.
Somebody may need to counter that help.
Yeah.
She's mixing Kool-Aid.
I'm working on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's also really bad.
Okay, I'm
Oh.
gonna help her just
Oh.
to see what happens.
Oh
Then.
god. So we have 2 that failed by 10 and 1 that failed by 5. Jose failed by 1.
Draha
Draha,
looks good.
Draha succeeded by 5, so she negates V's issue, but not Hedon and Rise. So, like, as a group collaborative effort, we are now at net 0.
Maybe Draha should kick the extra cooks out of the kitchen.
That's what Draha's about to start doing with the frying pan.
Yeah, it's like, get out! You're not helping! So that means we'll have to start the whole process over because the dosage were not quite maintained.
Okay.
They almost stay out of the kitchen.
All right. Is anybody staying put to hang out with Belle while she's reading her letters? I'd like an excuse to have
what?
to read these out
Yeah.
loud.
I will.
I'd say also Draha should too, because Draha...
I can help with the medicine stuff because I'm double checking everything before they hand it to you.
Oh, no. At this point, we've made the check. It's done. This is... Are you sticking around? Because right now, this was during the trip. The camp is not this check.
Yeah, I'll stick around.
Yeah, they gave me the letters and walked off, is where I'm assuming that she's starting to look these over.
Yep. All right.
So,
You know,
the
I think
first one on top of the pile was the straight-armed letter from Rye.
No, Savannah.
No. She's doing them in reverse order because Rise was on top of Sylvanas.
Okay. Sharp.
Opening Rye's letter. Dear Miss Bell, from Rye Hajime. I would like very much like a dinner, oh dear, with you in I would very much like a dinner with you in order to converse about Amuketna. Raises her eyebrow and her areas of expertise and place of domains. And she flips the thing, and it's signed with a heart.
it's one of those really fancy type hearts as well, like really artistically drawn.
Okay.
I do want to say Sylvana's letter, I sent you a message on that one.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically, the handwriting is very neat, very structured, as if someone who's been trained in calligraphy.
Okay. So there is a very pretty heart. What was the writing like for Rye's letter?
Neat. Yeah.
Also like somebody who's been really well drilled in writing?
Yeah.
Because I remember watching lots of kung fu movies that bring up calligraphy as also being helpful with handling weapons. So.
Yep.
All right. And this one from Sylvana to Annabelle Lee. This letter is an unusual endeavor for me. I am far more comfortable working with Mercury than metaphor, and better at isolating volatile compounds than articulating personal truths. But there is something I have been carrying for some time now. Something that has grown too significant to leave unspoken. I look up at Draha and is like,
I think they're trying to flirt.
this is far more serious than flirting.
Oh, continue reading. I'm gonna use this later.
That began.
Don't be that bad as she goes to reach for the letter.
That, and I move away from you, and Miss Daye
Something funny. Just
moves in, actually shifts to be in between you two, and I just that began, I admit, from a place of intellectual respect. Your mastery both of arcane and divine arts is uncommon, and your devotion to Abmuketna is both graceful and grounding. But over time, that admiration evolved quietly, steadily into something more personal. You occupy my thoughts more than I expect. Even when I am working, you challenge me not just in theory, but in the way you live, balanced between logic and faith, insight and intuition. That balance intrigues me. And I am honest, and if I am honest, something I strive to be, you attract me. Not just your mind, though it is extraordinary, but your presence, your poise, the way you move through the world as though you do not belong not just to it, but slightly above it.
all right. Before you get to the next paragraph,
Um,
you're gonna see Miss Daye.
I am
as
not
Draha
in
starts to chuckle.
as you're reading this,
I am
Miss
not
Daye is
in the
gonna.
habit of pursuing the abstract, especially not in emotional matters, but I find myself wanting to build something with you. Not just collaboration and study, though I would value that endlessly, but something more deliberate, more personal, a closeness that is not defined by shared discipline, but by mutual regard, maybe even affection.
I will say at this point, you're seeing Miss Daye kind of like her head slowly turns, and you can feel that like burning gaze on Sylvana.
Mm-hmm.
It's like.
It is like, that disapproving friend. Oh, yes. I do not expect anything in return. You owe me nothing, but if you have felt something similar, some small gravity drawing you towards me, then I will welcome the chance to explore what might come next. With clarity and intent, Sylvana Frostfire. P.S. Any sentences that seem vaguely poetic were likely added under duress by a meddling catfolk with a lute and no concept of personal boundaries.
That line, there is no tea that comes out of Draha's nose.
I am beginning to suspect a conspiracy.
No, I just think they like you. What you do with that is your own information. Okay, intelligent girl finds you attractive and likes you. Person with the pokey stick finds you attractive. Take your pick. They still both want to be friends, it looks like, but one, they just needed to get it off their chests. So you can ignore it, or you can comment and either put a stop to it or encourage it. Those are your options.
Z- uh, it, I need a moment, and proceeds to just grab the folio and just like, just she gets lost in it again. But you can see there's a blush up to her ear.
I love it.
It is like brain has stopped.
Bell.exe has malfunctioned and crashed. Would you like to reboot?
And yes, the DM took some liberties, but fortunately he did describe something that I did have in mind for Miss Die's reaction.
I kind of figured she would just stare like daggers at Sylvana and Raya at this point.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah. It's like, what that means, well, she isn't one to speak her mind, so we'll see how that gets with time. But for now, Belle is just going to be beep or blah blah, at least for the rest of the day.
All right. All right, now that that's wonderfully done and over with, does anybody do anything else this evening, or are we moving on to the next travel day?
I have something.
Oh boy.
Love is in the air. Can't you see it everywhere? Isn't it just what you
Oh,
want
Jesus
to me?
Christ.
My dear wife, won't you give me a lovely melody? I see love in the air, and it makes me swear that Amuket is real to me because I see before me one lovely V.
And it's like, once Samuketna comes in, is like, Belle is like, takes psychic damage.
Jose, give me a will save. You're.
Hold on, we'll see.
Yep.
And V started dancing while he was singing.
All right, so Jose's singing, despite his real life skill,
Mm-hmm.
was a 31, which is an extraordinary performance.
Yeah.
I look over at Belle and go, "Do you just want me to shut him up?"
It's like, before Belle is like, as soon as this stuff started up, and before Belle can say anything about it, let's just say, if you've anybody who's familiar with the magic flute, the arpeggios from the Queen of the Night's Revenge aria starts punctuating the performance.
That's still a decent performance. That's a enjoyable performance.
Yeah, but she's trying to override what's going on.
Yeah.
So she's not trying to blend in. She's trying to drown it out.
I just remembered I have the aspect of the nightingale on me, and I didn't do the second one. So I'm tempted to go again. As it says here, your voice becomes clear and pleasant. You gain a +2 confidence bonus on perform syncs and a +2 confidence bonus on diplomacy checks. Once per minute, if you are subject to a charm effect that allows a save from your roll twice, you take Okay.
I just kind of pick up Belle, find a tent, shove her in the tent and just stand outside the tent with the frying pan.
I will now move over to my dancing wife and begin dancing with her as I sing, and I will turn to her and state, "My dear, I wish to hear your luscious tones, your vocal cords rhythmically dancing upon the airways to my ears, please."
Danny, go to bed.
Yes, yes. You guys have
Hold on,
fun.
what?
It's like it's.
I have a bit of a sore throat, but I'm doing I'm sorry, furball.
Oh no!
I just, like,
Danny,
as you
bed.
start coughing, I just put my head up to yours and do that little nose kiss thing, rubbing our noses together, and I'm just like, "Do not worry, I shall sing for us both and light the night away like the day we first met."
I do this above his head.
Wet cat.
Hold on, I'm trying to find what you did. Oh, okay,
Danny,
let's see.
go to
Hang on.
mommy. Go to mommy. Just do it.
Okay, Anne, are you creating it like water? Like one big pile of water or raindrops?
You're equivalently getting a bucket of water dumped. You're getting a bucket of water dumped over your head.
My dear, what are the odds? Just like the day we first met, I'm soaking wet.
Oh God! Anybody remember these from the Garfield cartoons?
Sorry, dealing with a 7-year-old who's refusing to go to bed.
Ah, such is
And like,
life.
and like, I'll just look at my other half and continue on dancing with her as I state, "Oh, hold on a moment. Could you
At
keep
least he stopped
dancing, my
singing.
dear? Could you stay, my dear, stay right here? I'm going to shake the water off. And I'm going to go up. Hold on a second. I don't. Would I know who's cast that, Ruby?
Yes,
Would
it
I
is
need a.
obvious.
Right. I'm going to go right up to a certain someone and do that sort of shaky thing cats and
And
dogs
smack.
do to get rid of the water.
I'm not going for damage. I'm just going to get you to leave her alone.
Like, then I'll just wander back over to my wife and continue dancing and singing. It's everywhere you look. It makes you high like a drug and makes you forget how you look.
I will hold a handkerchief up to my mouth and discreetly cough up a hairball.
All
Mm-hmm.
this while a certain someone who was trying to see that happen doesn't get to see it.
Pardon me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude.
My dear, you're never rude.
Bed.
I've never known you to be
Now
rude.
what?
I've known he damn to be kind of
No.
rude at
You've eaten
times,
enough.
though
Go
that's
to
more from
bed.
a philosophical and
Put that down on
religious
the table.
standpoint.
Bed.
Sorry, philosophical. Words today. Hey,
Yeah, fair.
Someone has a few things to learn.
Yep. Now the question is, does Belle go to speak to either Sylvana or Rye this evening, or should she keep to herself with the Draha bodyguard?
Yeah, she's definitely taking advantage of this. Like, as soon as she got carried into a tent and shoved in, she's not coming back out.
At least till the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like it's one of those few. The way I picture it is it's one of those weird times where Miss Dai is actually floating beside Draha and they're both keeping watch. She kind of pulls away in disgust when uh yeah,
Jose does the wet shake.
Jose does, yeah. And then but aside from that, she's just as much as if Draha's being the passive, she is definitely the I will kill all who approach sort of glare.
Jaha does look at her and go, okay, you need to work on the resting bitch face.
Yeah. That just gets a momentary share of it for herself before she like goes back to keeping eye on Sylvana and Rye.
All right. So let me know if any you guys planned on having anything happen between here and the lake, which is a total of 5 days.
Working on my transformation in that book.
I'm more just keeping
I
Belle kind of safe until Belle wants to deal with it.
Yeah.
I think after the third day, I would make a point of going to Bell and stating I'm not here to cause a fight to a certain bodyguard at the tent. I simply need to see my fellow believer.
And yeah, there's like her the next day and stuff, she's super awkward. But she will come out of the tent and whatnot and help take care of stuff like travel chores and whatnot. And it's just and before she does the thing of manifesting Miss Dae, which is technically a ritual she would need to do every day, but it's something that basically every time she goes to sleep, Miss Dae reverts back to where she originally is. So she will let's see. Yeah, there's going to definitely be lots of false starts at approaching uh Sylvana and Rye, but um yeah, I would say by the third day Belle is still in the midst of false starts.
All right. During these false starts, Sylvana's going to approach Rye and have a conversation. And she'll be like, Rye, we agreed whoever, she picks and things of that nature, if she picks either of us, the other won't take any offense and things of that nature. If she is showing more favoritism towards you, I have no problem helping you and her develop your relationship if that's what you wish to do. I'm not against her being with anyone else. I want to express my feelings.
Yeah, I'll do the same for you if she picks you.
Fair enough. If she picks neither of us, that's fine as well for me. But I do feel that making that offer to help the other would be, a decent thing to do.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So day 3, Inquisition. You approach Bell.
I approach, and if there's still a bodyguard at the tent, I simply remark, I'm not here to start anything. I need to inquire of my fellow believer.
Like I said, she's coming out of the. If anything, you're probably approaching while she's like before Miss Die's manifested, and she's in the process of once again another false start at trying to find one of the two before losing her nerve and just focusing on whatever her camp chores are.
My dear friend, I've come at the behest of, well, partly at the behest of V and partly my own concerns for you. I take it prayers have been difficult recently given your transformations. I offer services to help with prayer. I would assume I'd say one and then you say one, and that would be us done. I know asking for divine help seems a little foolhardy, but oh well, it's not like it can hurt now, is it?
Yes, that would, but well, this is definitely one of those things where you clearly have the advantage of courage, where I deeply lack. As I glance over to whoever in is first visible.
Rye, roll d20. Apparently, it's Rye.
Okay, and she just does the whole blush and look away. And, well, I honestly. I know what I need to say, but it's just. The courage escapes me.
Then there's what we pray for, courage. And if you know what, we'll pray first, and then I'll finish that sentence. And so Ruby, I don't remember if this was actually in the book you shared, but is there like a specific way Amnuketna insists you pray? Like, do you have to be on your knees with your hands folded and then start praying, or can you just do it standing up?
Amnu Ketna is not caring so much about what physical position you are when you're praying, only that her main focus is the furtherment of magic and knowledge in magic.
Okay, then I will turn to my fellow believer and simply state I've always been fond of the first saint's prayer. I'm sure you have one yourself. If you don't mind, can I start with that and then you say your prayer?
You might as well begin with yours. Mine are nighttime rituals, and she has not given me any particular insight.
Very well then. I clasp my hands together and sort of bow my head and I state, Dearest Amnuketna, my associate Bell and I both come to you as faithful worshippers, seeking your guidance once more. In Belle's case, she seeks courage. In my case, I seek extra opportunities for insane lunacy, if only to make my DV smile.
And is like, Belle gives you a little kick in the shin. Get on with it.
Okay. Always with the rushing some of them. Anywho, to the point. We ask that just as the first saint asked you for guidance on the magical matters that he had acquired and was unsure of what to do with, Belle and I both ask you for assistance in this regard as well. In that vein, we hereby end our prayer to you. And then I'll turn and look at Belle and simply state, have you ever heard of the phrase blind courage?
Fools go, fools dare where angels fear to tread.
Yes.
I've read and seen this so many times in so many different stories, but when it comes to doing this myself,
I'm just going to smile at you and remark, my dear friend, and please note, I'm saying this mainly because you, as I, worship the one true saintly God of them all. I see the rest as mere pretenders, perhaps a little foolish actions is what you need. But I will leave it to you to consider that. Affairs of the heart are something I refuse to tread on with others. I don't mind my own heart or V's heart, as she's told me hers is mine and mine's is hers, so apparently that works both ways. But aside from that, I leave you just with this. You yourself said, fools rush where angels go. Hang on a minute. Had time to be the angel. Perhaps now's the time to be the fool. And no, I won't agree to telling anyone I actually said that. Bye! As I just walk out of the tent.
Okay.
By the way, Faye and Inquisition, I sent you both private messages.
Okay.
That is Amnuketna's preferred communication method to her followers.
Yeah, that's the reason why I said that her stuff is mostly nighttime rituals.
Yep.
Thank you. I will pin that so that I have it for reference later should I ever need to do anything with prayers again.
Yep.
Okay, and considering that the first person that she saw was Rye, she goes to him and is picking and a bit meekly pulls out one of those little pamphlets on the Amuketna faith, and I would like to accept your invitation to discuss things. This is the best place that I ever have practiced to start with, but perhaps once we reach Farandoshi, that would probably be the best time to really converse. Though I do must say that I strongly recommend that anything further you seriously reconsider. And then she just shrinks away without really looking up at him.
Thank you for this. Oh, Riet.
And she goes back to basically whatever camp chores and whatnot.
This evening, Sylvana will look for Belle, and kind of not
Mhm.
Belle. Sorry, Draha. She'll look for Draha and ask for Draha's assistance in looking over her notes to make sure what she has written down is accurate. AKA, I need a heal check.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we definitely dialed in that dose.
Yay!
All right. So Sylvana and Draha basically sit down. She goes, "All right, I have separated the doses into 3 separate vials that have to be taken over 3 separate days. Um, during this time, Belle is going to be incredibly ill and will not be able to travel. It will not be safe for her to travel."
So we should probably set up a camp for 3 days because we should probably do this before we get to the next city.
I think, honestly, when we get to the lake, we should do that. That way we have access to an easy freshwater source.
Yeah, that's a good plan. Because otherwise she's going to be... Because she's probably going to need soaked in the water a few times to help make her feel better.
She is going to be coated in sweat quite a few times. She will run a very high fever for quite a few days. Let me see what the symptoms are again. She'll go. She'll suffer delirium, hallucinations. She'll see things. She'll have agitation and restlessness, so she'll want to be constantly moving or aggressive. She'll have some level of confusion and have some short-term memory loss. Her heartbeat will, her heart rate will increase rapidly. She will be very flushed across her entire skin. She'll, like I said,
Belladonna toxic reaction.
yes. There's a good chance she'll have some nausea and vomiting. Definitely weakness and fatigue. So these are all things we need to make sure she's well taken care of.
Okay, so as soon as we get to the lake, we'll set up, and I'll set up her tent near the edge of the lake, so when need be, I can drag her into the water to help make her feel better.
Yes. We're going to have to definitely make sure everything is arranged for this before we start it.
Very true.
Let's go inform her of what we found.
Belle!
Yep.
We?
Yep. Belle's being called for as Sylvana and Draha are both approaching her.
So with medicine dosage right, it's going to take 3 days and you're going to be absolutely fucking miserable. We're going to do it when we're at the lake so we can keep you cleaned up and hydrated and not roasting yourself. You okay with this?
If this is what's needed, I'm all for it.
Sylvana will give you the list I just gave Draha of all the symptoms that you'll experience or likely to.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, if you can go without Miss Daae for 3 days, that's likely what you're going to need to do because you won't be able to focus enough to do any rituals.
Yes, there's been times when I've gone a few days. It will be difficult, but I'll be capable of it, yes.
Do you want me to tell her we're making you better, and then she'll get to come back?
No, she's not a being that can be reasoned with. Imagine she's more
She's a
like,
toddler.
yes, with a very much a grown-up's body. This is going to be a war of wills, one way or another, should she try to interfere. It won't be the first time, though. But it
So
will
just a
be,
magical toddler.
yes. And, she'll, look to Sylvana and very quietly say, "Thank you."
Of course. This was something that was needing to be done no matter what conversation we have later.
Yes.
And me
Sure.
being the one who thrives making things more awkward, I wrap an arm around both of them and then hug them both tight to squeeze. Like, everybody will be okay. We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Squish!
And it's like, Belle will lean into it, and it is very obvious that she is shaking hard at this, at the thought of this.
We'll be okay, sweetie. It's just gonna suck for a few days.
It sounds like a case where the treatment is almost as horrible as the illness.
Pretty much.
Oh.
You get your
And
hair ruffled. You'll be alright. It's just gonna suck for a bit, but we'll get through it.
yeah, she accepts it. This is a rather awkward image because it's like, I think we've established before that Belle is taller than.
I think so.
Yeah, because
'Cause
Belle is
Raha's only
5'7",
5'2",
and Belle is 5'7", so.
which means you're kind of hunched over because she's got her arm like around your neck.
Oh yeah.
Wait. Belle is 5. What you said, 5'2"?
Belle is
No, that's
5'7", Draha is 5'2".
Ah.
We brought up me getting confused about who's taller before, so.
Yeah, Sylvana is 5'10".
Yeah.
So both of you are hunched over because she's making you both come down to her level.
Yeah.
And she looks at you like, don't worry, I'm used to doing this. My brothers are all taller than I am.
Yes. Brothers.
You'll be okay. Speaking of that, if anybody ever asks where I am and they kind of look like me, you don't know me.
Fair enough. I'm
And
not
she just kind of squishes and kind of skips off.
Well, I was going to say I'm not particularly we should get around to breaking camp. And she'll just, again, thank you. And honestly, that was a beautiful letter, but I cannot say without with I can definitely say that I really you should reconsider. And then she just dashes off without waiting for a reply.
Sylvana will kind of raise an eyebrow when she says that and like runs, and she goes, "Is she concerned about her current health getting in the way, or is this the idea that one does not feel worthy?" Or like if she starts going through like multiple psychological ideas of what this could be in a very like more of like a clinical idea than in a like emotional concerned idea. Like you can tell she's not emotionally hurt by this. She's more of now her brain's working in a clinical way to try to analyze what the fuck just happened.
Yeah, because hooray, Bella's being obtuse.
Isn't that Belle in general?
Well, as a cleric of knowledge, she should be more concise, but this is a matter of the heart, which is, well, yeah, that's a
completely
completely
foreign
different
language from several planes over.
Oh, she'll get to that once she gets the courage to actually have the conversation properly. Baby steps. She is not a person. It is like from when it comes to social interactions, is like they're between. I think the most socially awkward characters are the ones that are all crushing on each other.
Yeah, which is funny.
No offense, but it kind of reminds me of before Jerry and I got together.
Yeah.
I was completely clueless to what was going on, utterly and fully.
Oh, that was obvious. That was so obvious to everybody. We love you.
I have to say, I'm kind of glad Melody got about as subtle as a brick with me.
It was so cute to watch you finally cue in.
Don doing? This has been a bit of a.
My fellow agitator in chaos, what are you doing? Where is your chaos pursuing?
It's being drowned out by love.
Oh no. Is somebody missing his wife already?
It's not the wife, it's everybody else.
Love. True love is
I'm
what
just, I'm
brings
just like
us
on the
together today.
I'm just on the edge of camp, like sharpening my knives and swords and shit. Like, these people need help.
Though, Mr. DM, if I may be so bold, is he finding anything from that ledger? He has been working rather hard on it.
He has been working rather hard on it. All right.
I haven't made any rolls because I don't know what I'm rolling.
All right. Well, no, it's more of like you're studying the information.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I've studied it for 52 days.
Yeah, you studied it for a while. All right. So this ledger was what you guys collected from the kidnappers.
Yes.
All right. So the information they have on file is they got their payment through what you have figured out in this time as a third party.
Okay.
So you have the name of this group. It is a company.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, it is referred to as.
If you say East India Trading Company, I'm gonna come in there with a rolling pin.
Jesus Christ, no!
I don't believe you.
No,
Wait a second,
that's a
hold on.
little too real life.
Yeah. No, in this case, it's
What about the Indian East Trading Company? It's the reverse of the East India Company.
yeah, I got it. No, in this case, it's the Granite Mountain Investments.
I didn't think there was granite down here.
Amongst Rhineford's rivals, most likely.
Yeah. But you now know the name of the company, so you know what you need to look up into when you get to the capital, and you have a good idea of, the company, what its symbol is, and the contact person that they had, which was in Kelna. I think it was Kelna, is where it happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know the name of the contact person in Kelna. You don't know what they look like though, but you do know what their
Right.
name is.
Well, revenge will have to be on the back burner for a while. And
Well, you know that
it's
a major company like this, because it's not a small company, would likely have a branch in the capital.
So
And
trying to take down a slaver company.
oui. And once again, there is a practically identical expression of loathing on both Belle and Daae.
All you see is Draha crack her neck, stretch out, and go, I've been wanting to kick something's ass for a while. This just sounds like a damn good reason to do it.
But one step at a time.
Yeah, let's get you fixed first. As she literally pulls out the bag that she has set up for your treatment.
Well, and as Bella's sighing, Miss Daae is once again, she gets clearly angry and stepping in between you two. And Belle says, probably best to do this tomorrow morning.
That was the intention. I'm just making sure we're set up for it. I don't want you dying.
Yes, that is hopefully the last of the last resorts.
You go to bed. I'm going to wrangle all these crazies into a game plan to make sure your treatment goes as smoothly as possible with as little stress as possible.
Oui.
As I literally glare at the rest of the party.
I'm crazy, so crazy, in love with me, and wondering what happened.
Shut up so we can actually discuss treatment plans so we can make sure she's okay.
Certainly.
So I shoo Bella to bed and go, okay, we're taking shifts on who's staying with her. So when her body temp skyrockets, we can drag her into the lake to cool her off, to help keep her clean, help keep her hydrated. And I just assign people time shifts. So she's never by herself, and we make sure she's okay. Got it?
Sure.
Yeah.
You just see the medic in her come out real hard.
I volunteer for the first shift.
Jaha
Oh,
just
my
holds up a
dear.
written schedule. It's like the first people who are going to be with her are going to be the two that made the medicine to make sure the first dose doesn't go wonky. And then here's your schedule. And she literally staples it to the tree next to Belle's tent.
Well, I'm gonna grab my sleeping bag and put it right beside Bill's tent.
If she weren't already difficultly trying to sleep, go to sleep with difficulty, she'd be very grateful for it.
Damn.
Oh my!
What was that?
Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Who
That's
had
what
the
it
crack a
was.
boom?
That was above my house.
Oh my!
It sounded
It's
like a
fixing to
plane
get
that was really low.
nasty. If I
All right.
randomly cut off, it's not because I left. It's because I was forced to leave.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, nature goes fuck you.
Pretty much.
We've been there. Good luck.
That felt nasty as hell. I get rumbled the whole house.
Stay
Oh, wow.
safe.
Yeah, stay safe, man. And
Mhm.
don't worry, if you've got to go, go. I'll cause double the anarchy for us.
Well, some of y'all
Yeah.
got to understand. I've made my peace with life. I'm gonna sit my butt right here. If it takes me out, it takes me out. If it don't, I will be still here.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'm living proof that it's possible to get struck by lightning and survive. And so is someone else that we know.
Hi, Ruby.
God damn it. I was hoping.
Well, I don't really fear the lightning. It's just this old house crumbling down is what would be the issue.
Yeah. It's not just him in there.
Yeah, it's me and my cats.
They're fur babies.
All right. So, with that being said, a couple days pass, and you make it to. So, it is Quan the 19th as you arrive at the lakeside. Meanwhile, you can see from across the lake, outside the capital, there are quite a few boats going onto the lake. There is a giant wooden platform being set up, like a fair distance into the lake. And it seems to be some sort of celebration is going on. You guys
We'll deal with that later.
I was going to say, you guys can give me a knowledge history or local to know what it is.
I don't have either of those.
And
Keon just points out there. Party!
I could not make out a word he said.
he yelled about a party.
Jose's ears perk up a bit. Party? Where's this?
Not right now. We've got 3 days of treatment to do with somebody, and then we can go find out what's going on.
Yes, mother dear.
They said being hateful would have its drawbacks and tests. And I look up to the sky and I go, very well, Nuketna, I see this for what it is. A test to prevent me from unleashing anarchy right now, but playing with it later. Hey,
Right.
Hidan,
Yes.
tell me, have you come across any fun lyrics lately? Or should we spend a bit of time considering some, making some up? V's quite good on the harp, you know. I'm sure between the three of us we could make a little ditty that would get plenty of moolah.
Behave while we're treating our friend.
We're
I'm
not
probably the last
done.
person you want coming up with lyrics.
Ooh, now that just makes me curious. And as we'll tell you, once I get curious, I'm like the cat with the string.
And Belle will sarcastically go, "By all means, don't let me interrupt your fun."
Let me give you a
Think
little
about
example
this.
of my
Think about the fact
lyrical ability.
Well, we have to do something while we wait for our turns in the shift order.
Damn!
Hey, Belle.
Oh, wow.
Still dancing lights by any chance?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Hey, Belle. She whispers this in your ear. Do you have the spell Dancing Lights by any chance?
I'm just
She
gonna
will
go
answer
straight.
far more quickly than I will, but I am. No, she does not.
I'll go
Damn it. She
straight
turns
to
and looks at the alchemist. Do you happen to be able to do that?
Dancing lights?
They're cats. Throw something in front of them and make them go pay attention to it and not be a pain.
I don't have dancing lights, but I do have. I mean, I could essentially make catnip.
A red rubber ball.
Yeah,
I cast light to shine red on a rock, and I throw it.
Okay, so which one of us should roll for this first? Me or my dear wife?
why not both?
All right, perception, here we come.
Yeah, I barely miss your head.
Perception.
Like, as this, just before this happens, I'll go straight over to Hedan and I'll start trying to, like, coach him. Hold on a second, wait. All right, so like I'll just walk over to you and start being like, no, 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 no. That's a D sharp. You need to be with that.
And suddenly laser pointer rock.
Ooh, what's that?
My brain just went, wait a second, spiritual weapon. I use that to go grab the rock because it's a fist, and the rock starts to move.
I want to chase the rock.
Oh my god. Okay, so you chase the rock.
Hedan, wait for us. We need to kill the light, the little dot that lives on it.
I'm trying to catch the rock because I want to make an even better play toy.
Ooh. So this is how we pass our time while we wait for our shifts. Don't
I
seem that
literally
bad to me.
high five Belle.
Yes. Well, shall we begin?
We love you. This is gonna suck, but you'll be okay.
Oh, yes.
You might want to put on
And
something you don't mind getting wet.
right, and she's pretty much down to basic shift.
Yeah, so it's like I'll stay with you for the first dosage, just because I'm the medic.
Yeah, and Sylvana's gonna be there to monitor the dosage, make sure if there's any modifications needing to be made, that she'll do it.
Yeah, you're in good hands. Let's get this shit over with.
She'll have Ryan Hedon ready on or at the ready to basically help you carry you anywhere you need to go.
All right, and let's see here.
Fortitude.
Well, first of all, let's see. Yep. Establishing with Miss Dye first.
Rosalind, go.
Let's see.
That's
How'd that
very
turn out?
strong will.
Okay. Okay. Yep. There is a momentary struggle before Belle downs the the first dose. And don't forget, the first I have to purposely fail the first save.
Yep. All right, so Belladonna does 1d2 strength damage.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll take that.
Yep. And here is Belle's strength is starting at 11.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is going to be rough.
What?
How do I turn this into my background?
Go ask mommy. She'll show you. All right. So the way this works is every frequency you could take 1d2 strength damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The frequency is once a minute for 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I think Draha, once we know we're doing this, Draha will prepare certain things that Sylvana is also going to be preparing. Just to be safe. And that is, where is it? Lesser Restoration.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's only the first save that I'm required to fail.
Yeah, it's the first
So.
save you are required to fail, but you are allowed to make a save with each
Mhm.
frequency.
Okay.
So basically, you get to make 6 total saves, but as soon as you make one save, the Belladonna no longer gives you strength damage.
Okay. So that, the fortitudes, the first fort, will that count as the second attempt then?
Yes.
Okay.
So you do succeed,
So
you only take 1d2 strength damage.
Okay. Am I rolling the 1d2?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Huzzah! Only one. All right.
So she's down to 10.
She's down to 10. While she is resting, I feel Draha would probably be the one cast Lesser Restoration because that doesn't require Belle to imbibe anything.
But she's already clearly in dreamland and definitely out of her gourd.
Yeah.
The hallucinations has begun.
Yep. Wow. All right. So now I need a D4 because there are 4 different types of hallucinations you can possibly get that I have prepared.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I planned this shit. Oh. Oh no.
Give me the prompt.
All right. Give me a second. I want to make sure I read this correctly, so give me one quick moment. Because this is bad. All right. Alright. Oh, what the fuck? The page I had it on just fucking glitched out. What the... Why is it saying
I
it's a...
hate it when they do that.
It's trying to act like it's a stream and not a... What the webpage I had it on was. Okay, I fixed it. That was just really weird. Alright. So the prompt is, and I'm going to let you give me some information, and then I'm going to expand upon it. Okay?
Alright.
You got nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
So Belle is going to experience something that is absolutely terrifying. Like she is going to, scream, probably thrash. It is... You are having the strong fight or flight response, and it's probably going to be more on the flight side than fight.
Okay.
So,
Um,
if you want to give me any information that you want me to use to develop the scene for Belle to be witnessing, please let me know.
let's see. Oh, so many options.
I know.
And Silvano is there, right?
Sylvana's there, Draha's there.
Mama can't help. She doesn't know how.
Oh, for fuck's sake, give me a minute.
I want this one. This one or that one?
I tried. I couldn't figure out how to get it to put it as the background for that thing.
How do I right click? Is it this one? How do you right
Alright.
click, Rose? Right click on that image. I just need the image, please. There you go.
You do both of your fingers.
Open image in new tab.
Well,
Double.
with Silvana there,
Fingers.
there is one situation that has been
You have to push
in
it
her
away.
particular thoughts,
I've just gotten
especially in the
I've
lately.
done it by accident on many times.
Alright.
And
I want these to be a background.
she is going through she is reliving the her part of the fight at the bandit camp, and it is worse than
Alright.
what actually happened. So, and if Sylvana's still in there, well, yeah,
Oh wait.
when Belle is screaming and stuff, she is
You can press
she is
button
doing the
to
typical no, stop,
You have to
stop,
open
and
it
it's and she is
so you don't have to deal with that.
actually screaming in Sahir,
Because I will get fooled on many
and
occasions.
and basically she's pleading for things to stop and shrieking about it's killing her. She's not speaking of herself, but she's referring to somebody else.
Okay.
Are those who speak that language nearby?
I can't do this right now. Please.
Can't remember if Sylvana understands Sahir or not.
Let me check. Yes, she does.
Oh yeah, but she's not being specifically naming Sylvana yet.
I would assume the context clues and with what in recent history, we should be able to kind of put that together.
Yeah. In the fight, though, Belle was actually didn't say anything other than what was needed for casting.
Yeah.
So it's very clearly a nightmare, though.
Yep. At this point, Sylvana is going to point at Hedan and Rye and ask them to hold Belle down.
All right.
Okay.
And I believe... Give me a second. I'm looking up the exact substance. All right. Belle will need to give me a fortitude save as Sylvana is going to pull open a glass vial, uncork it, and shove it straight into like Belle's nose.
Uh-huh. Fort save.
Fort save. You fall asleep. You sleep for 1 minute and forget the events for 1d4 rounds prior to exposure. So you forget some of the nightmare.
Uh-huh.
And you get one more fort save.
Okay.
For the secondary effect. Okay, you do not stay asleep for a full 1d4 hours.
Okay.
But you do fall asleep for at least a minute.
Yeah.
So there is that. So Belle will wake up like about a minute later, and the hallucinations are still there, but she is now definitely restricted. She feels those hands on her from both gentlemen. Whether or not she recognizes them in her hallucinative state is another matter entirely.
Question. While she's knocked out for that minute, can I tie her up?
Yes.
It'd be a lot easier to tie her up versus, just holding her.
Give me a CMB check. Okay. So Belle, when you wake up, you have those hands on you, but you're also found that you're bound. So you can do either a strength check to try to get out, or an escape artist check.
She does not. Let's see. Is escape artist a...
Belle, you're okay. Belle, you're okay.
Yeah. No, escape artist is not a skill that you have to be trained in to be able to use it.
Okay.
So you can make it without training.
All right.
Here's my question, though. What is your escape artist bonus?
She does not have an escape artist bonus. It would just... But, her dex is higher than her strength currently. Though...
What is her dex?
It's a 16, so the dex would be a +3.
So you cannot make this check then.
Okay.
At least the escape artist, because the DC is his combat maneuver bonus roll.
Yeah.
But
okay.
But the DC to break the rope is not based on his CMB roll. That is based on the rope's DC. So you can try to make a strength check against that, because that DC is within 20.
Okay. And her modifier hasn't changed yet. So.
Yeah.
Here's her as she struggles.
An 11 is not going to be enough.
And I would say, especially if she's having the nightmare about that scenario, she's assuming that the bad guys have her. So she is fighting and cursing.
Oh boy. All right, so
Yeah, don't be surprised if somebody gets bit.
oh boy,
I'm dizzy.
go Rose.
And yes, that was more of a I am taking advantage of this and I am going to make a throwback joke.
Oh no.
Anybody who knows, they know. I had a past character that there was a running joke about her taking bites out of stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, the night progresses with basically Belle being comforted by Draha and Sylvana, with Guy and Rai also helping hold her down, with V and Jose ready to assist as needed. So evening 1 finishes, and eventually Belle falls asleep from hallucinative exhaustion.
Yeah. Just out of exhaustion.
Yep.
So there is, though, in the upcoming ones, I am thinking of a possible thing, but I don't know whether or not. I don't think I'm at it yet. No, I'm not at it yet.
All right.
Not a high enough level yet.
That evening, by the way, you will see spells being sent off into the sky with bright, colorful, explosions.
Fireworks!
Well,
We're
magical
missing
fireworks.
a party.
Those of you who made your check earlier, minus Belle, because Belle is currently passed out, you have now remembered what day it is. It is the 19th of Quan, otherwise known as the Dragonfall Festival. This is the day where about 5 to 6 years ago, a bunch of heroes, as well as the multiple militaries of the world, took on the Hive and succeeded.
Oh, yeah, Draha would know all about that.
The lights are so pretty.
Yep. All right, so next day, Belle wakes up. Congrats, the hallucinations are gone. But also, have fun, the fever and the shakes have arrived.
I'm tied up. Why am I tied up?
Who's
You
next
tried to run.
Who is next on the scale to keep an eye on our friend?
Well, I think you guys all took turns, and at this point, Sylvana is only needing a few hours of meditation, essentially.
And I slept overnight because once she passed out, I passed out on the floor next to her.
Oh.
Yep. All right. Sylvana basically makes sure that fuck, my brain just had it. Belle is untied slowly and is given a simple bone broth meal. Because she's not going to be able to keep anything heavier than that down. And she's going to look at Hedon and send Hedon out to go get food.
Hey,
Survival check, good sir.
oh, that kind of food.
Yeah.
You might be screwed.
Not bad. Unless someone has a better survival check than you.
Oh, mine's a straight roll, so.
Oh, yours is a straight roll. I thought you had survival. My bad.
I have it, I just don't have nothing in it.
Son of a bitch.
Does anybody have survival?
I think I
It's
do.
you don't necessarily need ranks in it to do it. I know I've checked that at one point.
Yep, Rye goes out and gets food then apparently. So
Oh.
Hedon
It's just
is
like, this is how you do it.
yeah, like Hedon finds a few like a small bag of berries that
Mm-hmm.
is not a meal, but it'll at least be a snack.
Mm-hmm.
Jose basically goes fishing and catches quite a few fish. Rye comes back with a fucking deer.
Could have done that.
It's those it's that animal in him.
Yep.
God damn it.
Finger crack.
Yep. So using the berries, the fish, and the deer, Draha makes a very tasty meal, and using the bones from the deer makes a bone broth from venison for Belle.
Mm-hmm.
And with the cartilage, because she's probably gonna need it.
Yep. As the sun begins to set, round 2.
Yeah.
So
And now I can make it. I can make serious fortitude checks now.
Yep.
Belle, we're going to need you to go ahead and let me tie you up, willfully. That way,
Why
no
would
chance
I
of you
need
running
to be
off.
tied up?
You never know.
You were hallucinating last night, Belle.
Can we let her get a bath first because she's still?
Oh no, that probably happened throughout the day.
Okay, just the time skipped through my brain.
Yeah.
All good.
All right. Okay. Yee. And at this point, she's not even thinking about what's being handed to her. It's just yeah, it's more the bone broth. Yee.
It's another bowl of soup.
Mm-hmm.
Huzzah! No straight damage.
Yay!
Still need a D4.
Yay! Because this is the fun part.
Yep. Please don't roll 1 again.
How about this? I got all sorts of ideas. 4.
Oh, Christ. Okay, give me a second.
I have whole person immediately ready just in case.
It's I am at average strength. Who am I a threat against, honestly?
Not
Especially...
so much us we're worried about, it's you we're worried about.
Well,
Oh,
snakes
dear.
aren't very small. Snakes aren't very strong, but they can still kill you.
That's because they have the venomous bite.
My
That,
Just
and
friend.
if
saying.
your bite gets infected, well, that'll take anyone down. Even I know that much.
Belle,
Dear friend.
Yes.
this is not me asking in regards to the letters earlier or anything involving that, but I need to know what Belle finds appealing.
Oh, dear.
For this prompt.
Oh dear.
Oh, God.
I am not going to go into details, but
Somebody got Honeytail!
when I picked this option, I didn't think this was going to be number 2.
Oh, let's see. Well, she definitely leans towards those who are feminine presenting. Though when it gets the particulars beyond that, not there isn't that much of a judgment. She's definitely she's crushed on both girly girls and muscle mommies. I know that gives you a nice fair range.
If I could spell feminine. Did I spell it right? Yeah, okay, there it is. So, I was trying to spell, how do you spell it?
Feminine.
Yeah, feminine. Feminine. Did I do it? Okay, yep, there it is. Okay. Sorry, my spelling is shit.
Yeah. Doing
You don't have
things
an
on
excuse.
command.
English is your only language currently.
Yeah, well, spelling is a thing for a lot of people.
Oh no, I'm doing it to give him hell.
Uh-huh.
I'm illiterate in many languages.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Belle will see in this hallucination a figure approaching her, androgynous, graceful, draped in silk robes that shimmer like twilight. Their voice, while feminine, is sweet like a lullaby, stating, "You've read so much, let me read you for once." As they gently take your hand and guide you to a floating couch of cloud and parchment, as they read to you aloud from a book of your own dreams. Their
Aww.
fingers trace ancient runes along her arm, each of them unraveling the malady that you feel within. You also feel warm, known, and completely healed.
Aww.
Is the feeling. Remember I said this was a pleasurable thing. I wasn't going to go with sexual here, but...
To be
I
fair,
It's like, aww. She's you could have just as easily have done one of the forms of Amuketna then.
Yeah, well, you don't know. You can't identify the feminine figure.
Mm-hmm.
It's she's blurry to you.
Uh-huh.
So for all you know, this is Amuketna.
Mm-hmm.
Like laying you on a
And
cloud, like a cloud, like a couch made of cloud and parchment.
Belle's wet dream. Got it.
So number one was
it's not quite a wet dream, but it's close.
Well, one was
It's one where she just sighs and just giggles a little bit.
Yeah, no, one was like complete, utter, terrifying nightmare, like Nightmare on Elm Street bad. 4 was an insanely enjoyable experience.
Uh-huh.
Like, those were the two opposites, and 2 and 3 are also opposites.
Oh, yay. Well, continuing the adventure, what's next?
Alright, so that is what she experiences throughout the night, is being read stories by this figure throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
And to those who are watching Belle and can't see the hallucination, you just watch her entire body just, like, melt and relax.
I'm gonna call this a win over last night.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Now, mind you, the fever is still there. There is still some level of shaking. But, like, it's not tense. It's not anxiety. It is just like, like someone is having a beautiful time at the spa.
Uh-huh.
All right. Day 3. Let's go. All right. So day 3, everybody, I'm guessing, does similar routine.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Belle, when you wake up on day 3, while you are still covered in sweat and you're still somewhat exhausted, unlike the previous day where you were confused, not sure what the fuck was going on, and still felt tired when you woke up, this one is like you still feel that exhaustion, but it's different. It feels good. You feel rested, but still tired, but rested.
All right.
Now you don't entirely remember the hallucination, but you remember enough that you remember something about a couch, parchment, and being read stories to by somebody for the entire night.
Okay, who would she wake up to?
Sylvana is always going to be there when you wake up because she only needs to trance for 4 hours. So she will always be awake when you're awake.
Draha's on the
Okay.
floor next to you.
Yeah, Draha will be next to you.
I'm there too.
Okay, then Rai will be there in the morning, which means Hedon was there throughout the night.
Okay. But is like anybody who's immediately at her side while she's trying to sit up and stuff is like she's just going to just slump a little against them and is like, I think this is going better.
Sylvana goes, I am glad to hear that. Rai, will you help me untie her?
Sure.
All right. Now, day 2, you're still having trouble eating solid food, but now your broth, according to what I'm reading, you can have more complex than just bone broth.
Okay.
So you can have some like trail rations and stuff with your bone broth.
Yay.
All right. So day 3, I will need
So
that.
oatmeal.
Yeah. Day porridge. Yes. Day 3, we need the fortitude save.
All right.
Now I know the DC has been increasing every time you take it, but a 22 is still high enough.
Awesome.
No strength damage. Now we need that D4.
Yee.
Let's see if we get one of the newer prompts or if we get a repeat.
And I have an idea in case we get a repeat of the nightmare.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, she gets another happy time visitor.
Yeah.
This is going to be awkward.
Give me a second. If I could type today would be nice.
Oh, wouldn't it be great in general?
Yeah, I know. All right. The puppy behind me is snoring.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you puppy.
All right. All right. So, once again, you have that blurring effect, and the world now blurs into a golden dusk. Warm winds swirling with the scent of lotus and sandalwood kind of hit you. And you find yourself now kind of like you're almost back in Sahir. And you're in some sort of like moonlit desert temple. The pillars are carved with runes that shimmer beneath the stars. Lush silks sway in the breeze, and from the shadows steps a tall elven woman. Her skin is the color of sun-warmed bronze. Her eyes are lined with kohl, and she looks ageless and wise. She smiles like a slow spell taking hold, and she kind of like moves towards you. Going, "You've thirsted for knowledge," she murmurs. her voice a soft cadence like wind over the dunes. Let me quench you. And she draws close, her fingers feather light against your temple, and begins to whisper forbidden incantations, half-lost dialects of, history, and ancient truths too delicate for daylight. Each secret coiled into her ear as if a kiss of power, a lullaby of understanding. And the night feels like it stretches on endlessly, the gentle tide of arcane affection, and you feel yourself filled not just with knowledge, but with awe.
That was on New Ketna.
Yeah. We're close enough.
Now, mind you, when you wake up, you remember nothing of the secrets.
Yep.
All you remember is that words. Words were said to me, and they sounded amazing. Like, fuck. So there is that. As you slowly begin to get towards a more awakened state, she will look at you, kind of lean forward and smile, and like her demeanor slightly changes. And she will give a light kiss to your forehead and go, "Child, you no longer need to fear the curse of the moon any longer. Go forth and do my good works in my name." And like, you will slowly awaken.
It's like, whoa.
That you will remember.
Yep.
This time you wake up over a fire, spitted and pitted like a pig with an apple in your mouth.
I think not.
We're just making sure you stay warm, that's all.
He done. You bastard.
I just want to state this was entirely Hedon's doing, not mine.
I doubt Draha or Sylvana or Rai will allow that to happen.
Yeah, there'd be a dead Hidon.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, this is where everything went.
Yep. So, with that being said, Belle, you no longer have lycanthropy.
Yay. And okay. I repeat the question of who is immediately beside Belle.
Oh, the heck with it, I'll do it this time.
Aw.
No, wait. Unless one of the other would-be lovers want to be there, I'll do it.
It was... I think, honestly, Sylvana, Rai will both be there. I know Draha was resting next to you. And probably Jose in this case.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody give me some sort of odds or even roll.
I guess I'll do
it.
Oh, Jose
Beat
did
you to it.
Okay.
Even.
So, once is like, is she tied up again?
Yes, in which case Sylvana and Rai will both untie her.
Okay. And at some point, whoever winds up being closest, probably Rai, is like, she does this really big sniff and is just like nods to herself and murmurs, "It seems I'm in the clear." Sadly, that's going to be one thing I'm going to miss.
At which point Sylvana will smile when you say that and goes, "Well, I'm glad we at least resolved that problem for you."
Big hug. Now to the lake with you so you don't stink.
We
All right.
You know, Ryan will just go carry her and bring her there.
All right.
I've just had a thought. Hey, Dan.
Yes.
I need you to start
Might you?
singing again.
Huh?
Given how well you performed the last time you were singing, care for some further training on it?
Um, my specialty lies in murder, not passion.
Well, you could always try singing them to death. Oh, wait, that sounds like an insult. Um,
Either way, it is 9 o'clock, guys, so we're going to call it here. All right. So thank you, everyone who's been watching this on YouTube. We appreciate you. I know Faye Dorian does because she watches this for note taking. As well as.
and
Go ahead.
and if anybody is struggling with, say, issues of self-harm and whatnot, please speak to somebody or find somebody that you can trust. Well, for at least now anyway, there is a hotline for to assist with any suicidal or self-harming thoughts. Oh, was it? Of course, now that I'm thinking about it, what was it, 988 or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's 988, I believe.
Okay, hopefully I'm steering you in the right direction. This was strictly a fantasy scenario. It can come across as very similar to people undergoing cancer treatments with chemotherapy. And so any thoughts and considerations are with those who struggle, have to go through that struggle as well.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, thank you so much, everyone. We wish you all a safe time, and in 2 weeks you'll
Be
see.
safe for the holiday, because I know Americans tend to be stupid on holiday weekends.
Yep. But we will be doing another episode in 2 weeks, so see you all then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
bye.
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 Toodles.